Hiya, welcome. So this is the Serendipitous Deck Sermons, second one I'm filming today, which isn't normally the way that I roll, but this other card was definitely very loudly wanting to come out, and so we're gonna read it. I'm gonna read it, I'll let you know what it says. And so, yeah, the Serendipitous Deck is a deck of cards that came and found me one at a time as I walked around like streets and stuff for over like a decade year situation. Amount of time making a whole deck of cards, all different sizes, all different decks. They have different backs. A couple of them have like doubling ones from the same deck or something. And there's a bit more information about all of that in other episodes if you're curious about it, but I feel as though I want to go straight into this because it's like, initially I got loud energy and I'm like, oh, someone like life of the party, brash, like it's yelling, but it's not loud in volume. It wasn't loud in needing your energy. It's loud like the sun is loud, like not even like it's the center of all things in a way of it being egoic. It's like it just is. Which, I mean, with it literally looking like this too, but the reason that I ended up finding it is because I went back to look at the edit of the one that I filmed before this, and I held up the other cards to the screen, and this just like yelled across the screen, and I'm like, oh, that ace wants to get read. So then for myself to kind of read my energy and where I'm at, and I close my Reiki channel, because I do this through, yeah, allowing the energy of this card to speak to me, and so that I am a clear channel for that, I call in the universal healing power of Reiki and different entities that are here for our highest good. I do make that specified as far as it being a safe space that is open, that is here for the channeling of this, but that it is entities, yeah, guides and guardians that are here for our highest good. You are included in that, viewer. So thank you for showing up. So literally the card that came out to me was this, the High Priestess, and that's, nope, that's not even going to refocus it. Okay, so it is this being though sitting with their crystal ball and their tarot cards and all this book. It's like very like you're sitting with like the knowledge that you have learned is behind you. It's all in your head. You can move forward. You are like this, you know, there's a white and the black pillar like they have in the Rider-Waite. Yeah, Waite is the word that I wanted to make. Smith, Rider-Waite Smith. Sorry, Smith is the artist, and I want to include her in in that name always. But it's the balance of. Sorry, that just like also it came up with. I tried to record this, and I realized that I wasn't fully grounded in it, and my Reiki channel was not open, and then I hit stop, and like it was, instead of pause, I need to pause this so that it'll all be one video in the end and easier for me to upload. And so I was like, I'll just start this all over again. We'll calm it down. I'll open the Reiki channel before, shorten the intro a little bit, which isn't necessarily happening, but anyway. Like, that's literally like an energy I'm sitting in right now. I have like this drapey thing, but to me, these blue curtains behind are very like, you are protected, and protection as far as like from the Archangel Michael's point of view, which blue would be that color plus throat chakra. And what am I doing? So yeah, with the protection, that was like very much a strong piece and part of walk in that, knowing that you are protected from the 10 of Hearts video that I will have uploaded and may upload before. This might be shorter. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's like me. And sometimes I have my crystal ball here, sometimes I don't. Today I have rose quartz, raw, I guess it's, and then Lemurian seed, or Lemurian quartz, I should say. They just have seed codes in them. So anyway, then the bottom of the deck of that, where I'm like, oh, it's like I asked for a reflective card of where I'm at. I literally am looking in a mirror, except for I don't currently have a cat. I know that there is the spirit of a cat around me that is helping me and is playing with the runes, and it's the number 2, and there's a lot of imagery of like, yep. But then this was the bottom, and it's the Ace of Pentacles, and this is the tiny tarot, which is why it's literally the smallest little thing I'm holding here. But there's another cat. There's a lot of cats in this, I guess. It's the Everyday Witch Tarot. A lot of white people too. But this is the Ace of Spades, and I don't know how Spades and Pentacles correlate as far as the decks in that way. there is a good, like, I don't remember who made it now. I'll try link it in the description. Someone did a brilliant history of tarot. They were practicing witch, I believe. I don't know if it's Wiccan or anything specific that they would prefer that I say, but yeah, the history is so interesting. The way that it formed, like the minor arcana based off of like decks of cards, but how that all in general began and where it came from and the language and the symbolism and how the symbolism changed as it moved across the world because of what mattered to people and the way that they understood like money and stuff like that. So interesting. And then the major comes after, and I don't know that I ever got there as far as that history, but I will find that initial video so you can start that little series, because they put so much work into it, and it's like I was looking for exactly that the day that I found it. So yeah, anyway, this card, which is what I recorded at the start of it, and I'll like hone that message a little bit. So there was the loudness, the prominence of a sun. Then there was this like both light and dark element to it, as far as almost it being seen as like a yin yang but with a straight line, or like Two-Face with the personality change, I guess, because I don't know. This is where I was like, okay, I'm gonna pause this and figure out exactly where the energy of it's coming from, because I'm not even getting like sun and moon, so like another version of that balance of like dark or white and black, the colors, or the symbolism or whatever it is. But there was the imagery of specifically the guy who is the street magician, I guess he is, in Bedknobs and Broomsticks, and how he like is dressed like he has this case that's like closed and large and dark, and his outfit is like a long black coat and jacket and everything, or maybe gray, but like London in the some wartime. Oh, it's I think in the 40s. Anyway, you know, sooty and stuff like that. So a lot of grime. And then he'll stop in the street and like opens it up and it becomes a table, and he's doing like tricks and stuff from it. And this is like the image I'm remembering from it, unless I'm conflating two things. Is that mixing up? Mixing up two things, whatever. Thesaurusing. And so like, if that, but that's the message that's coming out, so that's what I'm saying. Maybe go watch the film. I don't know where it would be online if you haven't seen it, but it's I love that film. Although like you look back and you're like, oh my god, the movies that they made back then. Anyway, but I also liked this part of it that has always stuck with me, where like the kids end up with, so oh yeah, he is selling magic lessons to witches across the country or the world, I don't know. And so this woman finds him, who has these three kids. I don't know that they just run into each other by chance or whatever it is, but he does not believe in the magic that he has been selling them. So he does these magic tricks to make money. He sells the magic lessons as if it's like, you know, real, but he doesn't believe in it. But she has been getting magic to happen out of it. She turns him into something, and she makes armor march with no soldiers inside of it. And like, it's a whole, then they go to a cartoon world. Worth the watch. But there is a bed knob that if you screw into the end of one of the ends of a bed, I think he screws it like once and then taps it 3 times, or like there's something, you know, that interacting with this bed knob, and so the youngest kid carries the bed knob around as they like go through the world and stuff like that, and they know it's magic and stuff. And it has crossed over to now how it is I interact with my crystal ball, where when I put it down in its little stand, I turn it 3 times. Like it's like, oh, that feels right. So there it is. And there was this, and I'm like, the imagery right now is beautiful. Also, the sun in the background of this, and like the pentacle and the ball and the round. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Okay. So we will see what this has to offer. This is also very like a hypnotizing background. This never focuses, I'm sorry, on the thing. Ooh, focus. Okay, hyper focus? No. Yeah, but like in a specific, I will be back. Whoa, whoa, okay. Welcome back. Well, you've been here the whole time. I just had to pause it for a whole 2 pages. I am so grateful. I think it's because I'm specifically, like, I'm not channeling the Reiki I used to do, the card, and then would like charge, like intentionally through Reiki, allow that to you and allow the energy to be shared in that way. I'm not really putting it right. I'm sorry, I'm coming from channel world. And so, but now, yeah, my practice has been honed and I'm very proud of it. And you don't need to know all the ins and outs. So yeah, I would also say, like, it doesn't correlate in ways to, but it kind of made sense once I saw this ace calling and I had the 10 of hearts, and like I haven't had such an abundant card. I mean, you know, and that um vibing with at the same energy as whatever 10 of cups, right? 10 of hearts, I mean. And the last one that I filmed today, and it is getting dark, but from 10 to 1 is a cyclical thing, and that was very vibed in there, but it also feels like the reason these come out when they come out is because it is 11/11. What I said, that the energy is what we are collectively moving through. However, the collective, TM, Megan, what the jokes? Sorry. Okay. I mean, no, I'm not sorry, but like also, just feel a little spirit drunk and excited or something. Okay, so it is, there's a cyclical moment, and there always is. It's never not, you know, moving in that way, but we are not all, like, we are all one organism, and it is all the things that are within the planes en masse. So like whatever amount of planes there are, and let's just zoom in a little bit and like go all of the beings that are currently expressed through the 3D version of the universe as humans. Okay, like all the humans, because those are the ones that we understand to a point, the way that we feel, experience the world, how the setup of previous humans has affected all of us, like, you know, expand that as you will, but in as far as like an analogy and speaking about it in this way right now, it just makes it easier. So therefore the collective that you are a part of at any given time. I've had mixed understandings of this, and I'm sure that there are like written rules and some sort of like, you know, different spiritual practices through the years. So, you know, take what it is that resonates with you, because there's no one way to exist. The universe is boundless, and continues to just figure out new ways to exist. So I would say that it's not even something that can really be set in stone, and adapts to what it is that's necessary at any given time, especially as like population grows or as different things need to be moved through. And this is where it is, where it's like when we speak of ascension, you're growing or expanding in your spiritual self, whilst in your physical form. So the connection between your body, mind, soul, auric field, and any other ways that you experience this world are one at all times. Like ascension, or like ascending to the 5D or whatever, it kind of creates this like a little bit like us versus them vibe about things, which people just buy into real easy because it's the way that like the world's been set up, with like this political party and us versus them and that country versus that. And it's like, so we're all one. You know, I know that it's not really easy to like roll in that way, because it means a lot of acceptance and understanding and shifting massive ways that we see a lot of the stuff. And, you know, for another video, maybe. But as far as like your collective, that'll be those who are specifically, we're going with humans that are like on what, and it has nothing to do with age or physical projection, you know, like in that experience, but like the thing that they are energetically moving through. I don't even think it has necessarily to do with starting in a similar place and going towards a similar place, because those things are not destined really either. I mean, the stars and your astrological side can tell you a lot about that, and but then we move at different paces along the paths that we're on. And that's the point too. There's no race, there's no end. We literally all have an individual purpose here. Like, it's just, there's no linear way to compare any one person's existence to anything else that's going on the planet. Anyway, so when I read for a collective or when we speak about that, it's like that could be a group of people that interchanges um, every day, every moment, once a year. Like it's as if your part, it is exactly because the way that we would create things within the world are actually, whether we are aware of it or not, a projection of like the reason and the way that it's almost like the irony is so beautiful because like humans wrote this book which is a projection of a spiritual understanding where they said that like God made man in his image. Yeah, he did, because God is the divine, which is in all humans. And man, at that point in time, really saw himself, white man specifically too, as greater than anyone else, right? So therefore you would have a God image of oneself. And therefore, if you're creating the image of God, then you would create the God to look like you. Like it's the other way around, honey, like, which is beautiful and in its like most ironic way. But then that really empowers the individual that also realizes that like, that is a truth for every person experiencing life then. So however it is that I like experience this world, it creates that reality outwards, right? And I know that a lot of that is affected by external circumstances and stuff like that, but you are as empowered or disempowered as you believe you are empowered, and therefore it's kind of up to you. Yeah, like, and there's a lot to do with the wording of all of that, which I'm sure you've heard of different things and stuff, but it's so, why was I going down that route at all? Oh yeah, because collectives and stuff like that. And so with there being also like energies that are supporting different things, or even I would say more like reflecting what it is the all of the universe is moving through, or even just even again, like what it is that our solar system or what our planet is moving through is reflected in the planets, or you could see it in the waves and motions of the energy that moves throughout the plane of like the human, projection of the universe across the Earth plane. But like, that's not as obvious to see or easy to understand. And there's a lot more moving pieces and stuff, and to look to the planets makes it a little more like that specifically this, that kind of vibes with this and how they have a relationship together. Like it gives a little bit of an understanding because it's all one. And so we're not being directed by the planets. It is a reflection of the thing we are also moving through within ourselves. So we can use, okay, that rules this. So the thing that I've been going through in my individual life and how like my community is going through something, or this country or whatever, kind of like I can understand it from a point of view that gives me a little bit of a back seat. It's like taking the steps out of the river of the mind thoughts, of the stream of your mind. What is the stream of thought, and taking a step out of that water and looking at it as a big picture thing. I gratefully have a brain that does that a lot better than sometimes also like the zoom in and the specifics, but we have other people that can do that, so that's fine. And with it's like a collective I'm a part of right now, and most likely then I'm able to read better for. But the thing is, you will hear these words. This is the coolest part of it. You will hear these words from your perspective. So they may apply to other collectives that are going on, or like that are, we're all simultaneously existing. And so like it'll be understood from someone else's perspective in like this whole other way because of like what they and their collective are moving through. And what? Like, it's just so cool. Anyway, okay. So with the last read, they kind of go together, but like it very much can be seen on its own accord, which I made sure to do because when I'm running one into another, and I haven't done that before, I'm like, I don't want it to be like those two cards show up as if I'm doing some sort of tarot read, because later on I will be using these cards as their own deck, and after I know the individual meanings of each one of them, I can divine then from the ones that come out together what happens with those. So I was like very clear to the card and to the intention of it that it needed to stand alone in its own energy. So having said all of that, let us go, because it is just like another like stream of words, which I'm grateful for, because a lot of these before have been kind of choppy and imagery, and it's fine. That's fine for some things, because then I can later like understand what the imagery means in different contexts. But yeah, it is as it's supposed to be. Thank you, burp. Okie dokie. So face towards the sun, but it's warm. So some of this is going to look disconjointed, but stick with it. I'll try to make as much sense of it as possible. your face is facing the sun, but it's warm and comfortable, right? Not hot or burning. And then I got this like, the energy was so elusive. Like, it wanted me, wants to dance. So I was like immediately getting this image of like a humanoid shape that has like a sun for a face, which is like, I read Enid Blyton, The Magic Faraway Tree as a kid, so Moonface is a character that I'm aware of, and you know, that would make sense as far as it, but it was this being with like a sun for a face, and it's like my focus was on them, and I'm being pulled into a room of like people that are all at a party to dance. Now, it felt very much more like the vibe of Sweeney Todd's style of clothing, whatever, but in the vibe of like, you know, at something like that, it's very obvious when a new person comes to like a facade. What the fuck do you call those things? For a fete or whatever. Because everyone kind of knows that it's not like people are flying in from everywhere. And if you go to a club, like I haven't been to a club in so long, but like that is full of strangers, and that's a normal thing. Whereas this kind of thing was like everyone else kind of knows each other and you're new, and they all want to, and it would be polite in that scenario for you or this person who has like this sun face to like introduce you to people around the party, or at least the ones that they know. And there's this like Leo energy of sureness where I'm like, oh, it's so weird that this energy, this being is not doing that with me, right? So I felt this like apprehension to give it my full focus, because like in that scenario, kind of almost it challenged me to keep my focus on just that being that was pulling my focus, because I felt like the obligation of the energies that were all around this room that were like noticing me come in and being like pulled towards. I actually was like a much more masculine body in this vision. Like I'm just noticing that as I walked towards them, like I had, you know, it was like, because it was like a little pixie. Anyway, so so the energy was this like sort of elusive, it wants to dance, but it hasn't introduced me to anyone at the party. It has achieved your attention. I'll just go with it has achieved my attention and fellowship, because its energy is so strong. And to me, at this point of writing, I wrote, and to me, feels safe right now to say is a good way to go. Allow the experience, then it started to unfold. Allow the experience to happen. Follow this feeling, this energy, this bright, most obvious thing to you at this time. When that experience has satiated or fulfilled itself, then you can focus then your focus can shift to other people in the room or onto other faces that may be trying to get your attention. You have come a long way. Allow this to be easy by taking one thing at a time. Don't split your focus at this time. Oh, because there's how is the sentence focused right now? Okay, don't split your focus at this time. So you are talented at many things, at multitasking, at balancing or spinning many plates. And even that sentence came out like there is so much that wants to be said, and it's like all describing sort of the same thing. So it's like many pots boiling, etc., right? You've been good at that, you know, you've done it for a long time. Here and now, though, you are allowed to, I am trying to decipher my writing. You are allowed to settle, yeah, signal your attention into this. I have no idea what that word is. So it could be an interest, like whatever's coming to you at this time. It could be an interest of yours. It could be a person. It could be a path that you might be thinking about taking. It could be an experience of any kind, small or big, even a problem that you're maybe having to deal with. In divine timing, the focus will call you to shift, and then you can trust that. And then you can trust that and shift your focus when the time has come. Also, there is an energy that is like very a fueled, excited beginning energy, right? Yet there is no rush. There is time, and the universe or life or experiences that you are, oh yeah, okay, so to the universe, this was the best part of this, I think. To the universe, to your life, to your experiences, the experiences that are on offer to you and everything, you are the main focus. They are the lucky ones that you showed up to give them your attention. So get a little Dom energy, like as in BDSM, Dom, okay? In you, doesn't have to be your actual practice. It's more just like an energy that you can stand in. I wanted to clarify. And take your time. Relish the platter that is in front of you. The buffet will always be replenished. This is though, oh yeah, this is though, and I wanted me to clarify, this is all though in an energy of respect. It is not a power imbalance towards you. It is you stepping into your power fully and knowing that and what that offers to you. And in gratitude, oh my God, and is just like shoved in all these places. So it's stepping into your power fully, knowing that about yourself and what that offers to you. An in gratitude move, but knowing that you are deserving, have always been deserving. So this is a recognition of the full acceptance of self that is being reflected in the offers that come to you. Like they are saying, oh, this being knows their worth. Okay, offer them what they are worth. Okay, so look out for offers at this time within and out of yourself. This is definitely something I think is not just going to be like a one-time offer. It's more like a new way of you moving through this particular moment. Take it as long as it rides with you in the right way. Okay, that's an interesting sentence. Meditate in this imagery as well. So see all of the options. Eyes closed, like you are being in the moment, in that moment with your eyes closed, right? And you can feel, I think would be a better word to put there, feel all of the options. Waiting patiently for you, and allow your focus to remain on this sun-faced being who is the first to grab your attention. And that can be in your visualization, a path, an interest, an energy, a solution, a person, whatever it is that makes sense to you. But I offer you the sun-faced being, even if it's just like, I don't know what this is yet. And I know that I'm stepping into this energy, or that I already have. And I know that these words and hearing them is something that also helps us to kind of realize, like, I'm there. I didn't know that I could allow myself to be there. I'm there. You are there if you're hearing this, by the way. It's not a mistake. So I offer you the sun-faced, like, kind of pixie-bodied being who is like so brightly shining, you don't really need to focus on like their features or anything. It's more just like a thing to allow your focus onto. You could even do this with like a candle flame if you'd prefer to have your eyes open, but that everything else that is around you is an offer being made to you by the universe that will always be there and await, because you are allowed to take one thing at a time. And it's like you allowing yourself in a visualization to stand in this energy, so that when it comes to practice or option to feel into that in your everyday life, you can, right? Okay. So this being who is the first to grab your attention. So then this kind of got like, not even for a specific person, I'm feeling, but yeah, just, I'm going to go ahead. So maybe this is also a reflection of the first person or first occurrence that ever really saw you in your wholeness and accepted that, but in your greatness, and didn't come after seeing, and didn't become jealous or dimmed by seeing you in your greatness, you know? So whenever that was, or that person was being called up here, a moment that matched you and saw you, and in that you actually saw yourself. What you could be, and also what it is that you truly are when you own it. You are always loved and accepted by this atmosphere. You deserve more than to be only, you deserve more than to be only ever kept safe though. And you deserve more than to be living as the victim that this unconscious past has made of us all. Once we see our true magic, our true spirit, true beauty, the love that we are in our essence of existence, scary as it may be to admit to yourself, you become a survivor. You choose to be here from that moment on of consciousness, of knowing your worth and who the fuck you are, you know? Okay. You're something, in case you weren't aware. That really, I was like, oh, I have to say that. So you know it's for someone out there. You're something. And now you have stepped even further into this and thrive. Or for definite, know that you are worthy of thrival. Because sometimes I think we haven't, it felt like clarifying, because like, if it's not something that we feel as though has occurred in our lives, we can feel left behind by some of the ways the messages come out. And so I wanted to make sure that it was understood that like, you're hearing this is resonating with you, you are feeling this somewhere in your body because it is the truth. So whether or not you have actually encountered an opportunity to step into this in your everyday life, or if this video right now is the opportunity for you to feel that in yourself, you are worthy of that thrival, which is a word that I'm not sure exists, but I'm making it one. So it will continue also to impress you. It will keep expanding, and this is only the beginning. It never ends. The universe only ever expands. The smoke never goes back in the cigarette. That's a Mr. Nobody quote. Watch it if you feel called, but I don't. It's just a good quote. Okay, so that's the Ace of Spades. Right? Worth sticking around for. I'm really glad that I did that one today. Yeah, I feel very fulfilled in my calling the last while, because I fully understand in a way that I never did before all of the ways in which I can actually show up to fulfill it. And there will always be more. This is just how I understand it for the time being. So I'm trying to also open that out into being like providing Reiki healing for people. I would love to do that in person though, and I don't necessarily have the means or whatever, and maybe that is to come. Maybe that is the offer that comes around, and maybe that makes sense and I have to get a bed and everything. And I want to offer it virtually, but I would prefer to do it. Anyway, there's that. There are readings. Obviously, if there is anything that is resonating here, I would very easily read an energy or channel a message that is specifically for you. I feel very comfortable that it wouldn't even need to be cards, but I would be able to, you give a question or you have something that you want spoken on. But yeah, I will set up a way for that to like actually be on offer, like a website or something. That is still something I kind of have been putting off out of reasons that are all the stuff that we already know within ourselves. Like it's mostly fear-based, it's all that malarkey, but also I have been exhausted. I don't know if it's all of everyone else is experiencing this, but it's not even like it's like a lot is happening and also not a lot's happening, and I am just exhausted and like surviving, but I'm doing well, thriving, you know, was able to do this and bring these to you. So thank you for being here. Yeah, and go hug a tree and enjoy that visualization and enjoy yourself, because damn do you deserve it. And yeah, we all deserve better from ourselves and from each other. Let's give it to ourselves. Okay, I love you. I will see you again in the next one. I hope to do these more regularly because I really liked the practice of having it weekly, but I needed to show up for myself so that I could do this and the energy that I bring to it. So yeah, thank you for witnessing it, and bye.